All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Please excuse my my change of venue. I am out in LA having a wonderful vacation, but you know I'm gonna still talk this boxing. So Laila Ali, word is Laila Ali has turned down Claressa Shields and her $15 million offer. Now, look, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos and all that other good stuff that I say every other video. Man, I am absolutely positively relaxing out here in LA. What a wonderful place. First time in my life out here in California and just enjoying it, man. Great weather, pretty people, all that good stuff. But I could not get away from talking about this boxing this morning because my girl has rejected my girl. Now, who are they? Claressa Shields, the Gwoat, the greatest woman fighter of all time. And I think that that is very, very safe to say. She is a two-time Olympic champion. She is, I do believe, a three-time undisputed champion in women's boxing. That is something we've never seen before. And I'm telling you, man, you may never see again. That's going to be a tough, tough route unless you get, unless women's boxing doesn't fill out, you know, like I think that it's going to fill out. However, one thing that Claressa Shields is not going to be able to do is she's not going to be able to sucker Laila Ali out of retirement in order to get the Muhammad Ali's name on Claressa Shields' resume. That's just not going to happen. And I knew it wasn't going to happen because, number one, Laila Ali is a very from what I can see, never met her. Well, I was around her one time, never met her, but just the personality that you see on camera, she's a very, very strong personality. She's a polite woman, a sophisticated woman, but you can tell at the same time, she's really not down for the foolishness, right? So anyway, I knew when Claressa Shields was trying to offer her $15 million for that fight, that was not going to be enough for Laila Ali to come out of retirement. It's just not going to be that, because first of all, and I've said this before, Laila Ali is somebody that got a lot of money. There's a lot of people made especially Floyd Mayweather Jr. with all that nonsense about how the Ali family had to sell their name and likeness for $50 million and da. Look, man, I know people in the know, and that dude was extraordinarily wealthy when he passed, and his children are extremely well taken care of because of him. But not only that, Laila Ali, who's been putting in work for well over 25 years. Well, I think when she turned pro, like in 2003 or something like that. But she put her work in for several years as a professional fighter, and she grew her own brand. She has her own, her own recipes, only different things that she's selling. Has done very, very well for herself. So I knew when they said, okay, we're going to give her $15 million to come back. Nah, not going to work. Your number have to go way up there in order for her to give up, I think, number one, to give up her record like that, and also for her to give up her father's name like that. Because if you really think about the two of them, I don't know if Laila's in the Hall of Fame yet, but Laila Ali is going to more than likely be in the Hall of Fame. As soon as they start putting more and more women in the Hall of Fame, Laila Ali is going to wind up being a Hall of Fame fighter, man. And of course, her father, I mean, you might as well call that the Muhammad Ali Hall of Fame, because he's the most famous of all of the famous people in the Hall of Fame. So in order to sell that name to Claressa Shields so that Claressa Shields can get, so she can pump up her career, I didn't think that was going to be a sword that Laila Ali was going to be jumping on, because there wasn't going to be any realistic way for Laila Ali to win that fight. Now, I'm not saying that if Laila Ali was 27 years old, 28 years old, something like that, 30 years old, that she couldn't have got in there with Claressa Shields and done some work with Claressa Shields, because I do think she could have. She was very long, she's tall, she hit hard, she has very, very straight punches. And I don't care what you say, when you have a lot of straight punches, you have a very good jab, a nice right hand, and a hook behind that, and you have good movement, it's going to be tough if somebody fights for the outside for them to get you. But Laila also would sit down and throw some shots too. And Claressa Shields just is not the biggest puncher. And she's just not the biggest puncher in the world. But at the same time, hey, man, Laila Ali is not 27, 28, 29 years old. She's 40. I'm 56. I do believe that she is 8 years younger than me. So she's like 40. She's like 48. She's closer to 50 than she is to 45. So this not going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be a gimmick. It's going to be a gimmick that, it's going to be a gimmick in the same way that the Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford fight is a gimmick. Nobody's asking for that fight. It's just two names that you put together that you say, okay, this will be a match. A whole lot of people know Terrence Crawford. A whole lot of people know Canelo Alvarez. But it's just not a natural thing to be made. It's kind of like hits you out of left field. Like, oh, wow, there's a fight today. Who is it? Oh, God dog, RuPaul is fighting Banana Bob. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? How did you get these two things together, right? They don't make sense. So you getting somebody from the early 2000s to fight somebody that's in their prime in 2025? Like, no. Now, there's also, I have to tell you, if there is any criticism in this whole scenario, I do have it for Claressa Shields. Because it's not Laila Ali's fault. Not Laila Ali's fault that there's not competition around Claressa Shields that Claressa Shields can sell. It's just not, it's not up to Laila Ali to get Claressa Shields out of that situation. It's not. Claressa Shields is going to have to fight Shadasia Green. She's going to may have to fight Savannah Marshall again. She's going to have to fight these girls, and she may have to fight these girls 2-3 times in order for her to stay busy. And you know why that is? Because that's the phase that women's boxing's in. When a long time ago, when men used to fight each other 5, 6, 7 times, right? When they were putting on local shows and that stuff. Go back and get Delphine Pursoon. I believe that's and what is the other lady? The woman that dropped her in the first fight and then the rematch got canceled, but because she tested positive for something. Well, guess what? That lady got off from that. So Claressa Shields can go, and please forgive me for not recalling her name, Hannah Gabriels. Yeah, she can go back and fight Hannah Gabriels. I think Hannah Gabriels and Claressa Shields would be the rematch would be a great fight because Hannah Gabriels put some work on Claressa Shields. So it's not like Claressa Shields does not have any more competition out there. Shadasia Green and Hannah Gabriels. Boom, boom. The thing is, though, that it's not going to generate the money. It's not going to generate the interest that Laila Ali does. But at the same time, it is not Laila Ali's problem to get Claressa Shields competition. Laila Ali didn't have a lot of competition at the time either, and she had to make it work. She had her Jackie Frazier lied. She fought Frida, rest in peace, Frida Foreman and Christy Martin, and she did it. Anyway, Claressa Shields just going to have to figure it out. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Deuces.